All right, welcome back to a brand new video of the Target Individual Program. Doing good experience. So I just sitting here again. I still have that weird taste in my mouth after drinking my tea. I had went and I had some bread with peanut butter and jelly. But here's the thing: the aftertaste that I have in my mouth after drinking my tea still persists on my tongue. I'm feeling a little weird. My tongue was dry, but now it's beginning to salivate, right? So I just Google, just again, because the mindset of certain people, particularly, and I talk about fanatical people, religious people, and the shit that they'll do. So we have a lot of mouse issues here, and on the stove there's usually a lot of mouse dropping. I usually clean it, what have you. I usually clean it with little Lysol wipes, what have you, or disinfectant spray. And so I just did a search. I said, if someone, like I said, if someone put a mouse dropping in your tea and you got a headache, dry mouth. This is what it says. Yeah, ingesting mouse dropping can lead to several serious diseases, and if your symptoms of headaches and dry mouth warrant immediate medical attention, headaches can be an early symptoms of condition like hantavirus pulmonary syndrome, uh, lymphocytic meningitis (LCN), and salmonella losis. A dry mouth can result from dehydration caused by an infection. Do not wait for symptoms to worsen. The severity of rodent-borne illnesses can escalate quickly, so it is critical to see a doctor right away and tell them about your exposure to mouse droppings. All right. So again, these are some of the symptoms. So I have a slight headache, right? I don't have any stomach pains, no diarrhea, no fever, no vomiting. Well, I'm documented just in case anything happens to me, that it is documented. So, like I said, my niece was in the kitchen, again in her underwear, brown panties, right? I put my tea, right, to let it brew, and again, I've done this every night. I've never had this aftertaste, never had this taste. So, like I said, so when Pam tonight, earlier tonight, talk about going to give me a box of expired macaroni and cheese, mac and cheese, right? And then she's like, "Well, don't your niece make mac and cheese?" And I'm like, I have not, you know, I've, we have not had that discussion in a couple of years. So for the fact that she remembered that, so I said, it's weird because you seem to have some very selective memory because you want to give me expired mac and cheese to take home. Like, why? But I always talk about how they tried to do false equivalency. So how did I say yes and brought the macaroni and cheese here? And if they did poison me, then would have been like, well, he was trying to poison me. He was trying to poison us. That sort of thing, right? This is the mindset, and because I understand the mindset of certain people, right? This is again studying what's in your predator department in the sirens, studying what it is that they have done to me and others, right? How particularly the illegal microchipping and how they try to get away with it, how they try to avoid exposure for those of us who are microchip from coming out and exposing what's being done, and the use of psychiatry. This is what they've always done. And when I talk about the silent sound spread spectrum, use a microwave wave frequency to manipulate us. Right? They don't want you to know these things. They don't want you to believe, well, not just believe, but they don't want you to know that these things exist, that these weapons exist. Okay? So I am going to because that's, like I said, when you have to get into the mindset of these people, right? And the only how you can get into the mindset of these people is that if you read books on uh, uh, religious fanatics, right? Particularly when their fanaticism is normal to them, right? So these are the things that they will do, and to try to get away with this. When I talk about, you know, the psychopathic and sociopathic mindset, and when you look at particularly women today, right, and particularly within the black community, the Negro women, they are the most narcissistic, right? Because and they will always call men narcissists, but when you go and you look up at the definition of narcissistic personality disorder, you'll see. Let me. Okay, so let's look at the definition. Let's look at the definition. Narcissistic personality disorder is a mental health condition in which people have a unreasonably high sense of their own importance. They need to seek too much attention and want people to admire them. People with this disorder may lack the ability to understand or care about the feelings of others. But behind this mask of extreme confidence, they are not sure of their self worth and are easily upset by slight criticism. Now, who does that sound like? Does that sound like men or does that sound like women? Particularly within the black community. Does that sound like black men or black women? A narcissistic personality disorder causes problems in many areas of life, such as relationships, work, school, and financial matters. People with narcissistic personality disorder may be generally unhappy and disappointed when they're not given the special favors or admiration that they believe they deserve. They may find the relationship troubled and unfulfilling, and other people may not enjoy being around them. Treatment for narcissism, such and such talk therapy, anyway. But this is basically what it is. So when you look at, you know, the behavior of the nigger paying women over the past 2 decades, because this is when I noticed the cognitive warfare being waged on them. Even I didn't know the name cognitive warfare back then, the neurocognitive warfare. But this is what happens, right? This is so again. It is, people can be conditioned within the society to become narcissistic. And in the West, you have more narcissistic people than anywhere else. And in the black community, what they've done, particularly with our women, is they have become very narcissistic. Right? You can't criticize them. Right? You can't hold them accountable. Right? And like I said, a big part of that is the white racist liberal. Right? Giving, manipulating a woman into this mindset of importance. Right? So black women are the most educated when we know that they are not. But these are talking points that the new through the liberal media news cycle, and particularly with black women in on some of these news media cycle, cable news, social media. Right? This is what you hear them say. I mean, just go look. I don't gotta say you don't gotta believe me. Just go look and see what I'm talking about. Okay. Anyhow, um, I am not sure what to do at this point. There's one thing I would say this is that they probably expect me to just get dressed and leave the house at this. It's 2:50 a.m. in the morning. Okay. to go to the hospital if I have to go get on a bus. To go, you know what I'm saying? It's whatever. But like I said, I'm documenting this because if anything happens to me, then at least I documented so people would know what happened. Okay, like I said, ain't no fear here. You're not going to engage in this sort of behavior and think that I'm going to be quiet in silence. Okay, particularly when it's based off of lies, and then particularly when you get others to lie and manipulate and to deceive. But I'm about the truth, and I'm going to speak the truth because my purpose is greater than theirs. And when you have a great purpose from these evil bastards, what they'll try to do, they'll try to get rid of you. I know that. I know that, but my purpose is greater than theirs. Talk to you guys in the next video.